Hi, welcome to Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to Whoa.
I had the speakers on, so there's feedback. Lesson learned. Hi, and welcome to the Unreasonably Angry podcast. Every episode is just going to start with most likely me,
Stumbling. Just
not.
stumbling and fumbling
I
and
don't know if
mumbling.
I've even heard you stumble once, and I stumble every time.
Oh, no, but I said the word observances instead of
And we found out that
observations.
that was like some religious thing.
Yeah, so a little carryover from episode 1. Yeah, hi, and welcome to the Unreasonably Angry podcast. This is episode 2. I'm Eric,
And I'm Gary.
and we got some stuff that pissed us off this week. So something that's been on my tits lately that...
On your tits.
on my tits. So I figure we need to have something we don't really grinds my gears. You know what's on my tits?
You know what really grinds my tits?
You know what squeezes my nibbles? So I was at Target with my wife and daughter, and I'm gonna be open about my life on here. But we're expecting another baby girl, and one of the things that I realized when we go to Target is the way the aisles are set up, the toys. So you have your general baby stuff, and then you have your kind of everybody stuff, Disney stuff, and then you have like the girls aisle, and
Yeah.
then you have like the boys aisle.
Right.
And this is not going to go the direction you're expecting it to go.
Okay.
A lot of people get there and they go, why are things separated? Why do girls have to play with this? And why do boys have to play with this? And I keep hearing it, and I keep seeing things on Facebook about it. Boys stuff is this and girls stuff is this, and why does it have to be? And there is not a single fucking time that we go to goddamn fucking Target that my daughter goes, I only can play with the pink stuff. I can only play with the blue stuff. Let your fucking kid play with what they want.
No.
There is no, now I understand she's only 2. Maybe it's different when she's 5. Maybe it's different when she's 7. Maybe it's different when she's 10. And maybe people are gonna get mad at me and go, you don't know what it's like yet because your kids have been discriminated. Whatever. My kid is not gonna grow up being told what she's allowed to play with, have expectations for what she's supposed to do. Kids don't know sexism. Kids don't know racism
Until
Kids
they're
don't-
taught it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that you allow them to be allowed to be indoctrinated into their lives.
Right.
So what's starting to drive me nuts is that I'm watching other people with their kids and they feel so, it's just not fair. There's just not enough toys for my daughter. There's a billion fucking toys. Give her a block. My kid plays with trains. She plays with fucking Nemo. She plays with Dory. She plays with Elmo. There's no limit to what the kid can play with unless you make there be one. Unless you allow someone to make you feel like she's not supposed to be doing something or he's supposed to be doing something. And I gotta say, it's starting to fucking piss me off.
Well, where do you think those people are coming from? Like, why do they care about like social norms, and why do they bring those into their family's life? Like,
I don't know and you know what, maybe I'm fucking ignorant and this is actually happening to them. Maybe somewhere somebody has their 2-year-old, they're holding him in the store and the kid goes to grab a toy and somebody goes, no, you're not allowed to play with that one. You're a girl. It's not 19 fucking 50s. I don't know what the fuck is happening in the rest of the world. My kid goes and says hi to every other kid. Boy, girl, black, white, green, purple,
yeah.
Dalmatian. It doesn't matter. The kid doesn't care. Toys are the same way. If she sees Mickey Mouse, if she sees Minnie Mouse, there's no, oh, this is supposed to be the one. And we don't go in there and go, oh, she can't wear that. Oh, she can't do that. She can't. So I don't know if someone is actually experiencing this thing where they feel like maybe they feel judged. Why they fucking care, I don't know. Because I don't care.
That's what I'm having trouble understanding, is that the argument is from the parents, but the kids only learn from their parents and from the world. So
No, stop right there.
Okay.
Right there. They only learn from the parents. That's how it's supposed to be.
yeah,
What's supposed to be is you teach your kids valuable lessons. You instill in them character traits, values, morals, empathy, sympathy, love.
yeah,
We now live in a world where you've heard it. You heard it during the whole election. Again, we're not going to get political. What am I supposed to tell my kid that hears that on TV,
Right.
that sees that on TV? You
Right.
tell him that's shitty. Don't do that.
yeah,
If you are seriously worried that an outside source is going to manipulate your fucking child into being a little shit, you aren't doing a good enough job as a parent. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And maybe we've now ventured into Eric is unreasonably angry territory. But the fact of the matter is
no, you have a point.
I don't get why people are so worried. Again, I hate to do this, but it goes back to another Louis bit. When people are up in arms about gay marriage, what am I supposed to tell my kids? Whose fucking responsibility is that? No one cares. Go talk to your shitty kid. Tell them, hey, it's okay if these people love each other. It doesn't fucking matter in your world. Just keep living. Be a good person.
Yeah.
So if someone comes along and says, hey, your kids are this, or hey, you're raising your kids wrong because of this, why does it bother you? If you're strong enough in who you are and strong enough in who you are as a parent and you're leaning enough on your partner, then nothing the rest of the world says should matter. So you just touched on it. It's a lack of the ability to just be okay with who you are and let your kids be your kids. And maybe some people are afraid that their girls are going to be too tomboyish, or maybe guys are worried that their little boy's going to want to play with a doll. Why that fucking matters, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kids don't generally go from I played with a doll to, oh, let me suck a dick now. It doesn't really work that way.
Right.
And even if it did, he's a fucking person still. You're
Yeah.
not gonna love him any less.
Yeah.
So what fucking difference does it make?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna come from way more ignorance because I mean I'm nowhere near being a parent. But if a parent is questioning like what they're gonna tell their kids, like if they don't know what to say to their kids, then I would look at that as, well, if you don't know what to tell your kid, then are you even sure about it yourself? Like
No.
if you see an issue and you're like, well, what do I tell my kid? Then I would ask you, like, well, what would you tell yourself about it? Like if you, or like your friend, like how would you explain it to your friend? And then like, why would your telling your kid be any different? Like they're a child. They
Trust you implicitly. That's
saw
it. They
something-
trust you. So
that's true.
if you say something to your kid, they don't know any different. They're going to believe you. You're mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
You know, yes, of course, as they get older, they're going to question you. But if you are honest with your kid and you talk to your kid,
like an adult.
yeah, it doesn't have to be boo boo bee bee.
I saw something on Reddit about child psychology and like how someone recommended that like when you talk to your kid, you should use as many, like you shouldn't filter like
Boo boo bee bee.
no, you shouldn't filter like words that you don't think they would understand.
Yeah.
Because the only way they're going to learn those words, the only way that they're
hear
going to
them.
increase their vocabulary is for them to hear them and then ask, like, what did you just say? And then you just explain the word, and now they know it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same. It can be the same thing with social issues. Like you tell them the issues, you tell them what's happening. You don't have to say ISIS is cutting people's heads off, but
Sure, you could.
You could
like
but,
make a little Barbie doll playset out of it.
oh god.
A little fucking guillotine.
Just imagine like a G.I. Joe Saddam Hussein like hanging from a little string. All right.
And
Anyway.
here we have Osama bin Laden's cave set. But you know, as crazy as that sounds, if you think about it, though, as crazy as that sounds, I had Cowboys and Indians when I was a kid. I had little plastic Cowboys and Indians, right?
Yeah.
And I had the Lincoln log. So I would literally build little Lincoln log forts, and my Cowboys and Indians would fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
As a child, I'm not fully aware that the Indians came in and
the
stole,
atrocities.
raped, pillaged.
Right.
So as a kid, you're like, Cowboys are the good guys. And then as you're an adult, you're like, whoa, maybe we need to rethink this whole scenario.
Well-
so kids playing with a Go For It playset really isn't that much fucking different. It's just more recent.
Yeah, and that's interesting is that like kids, I mean, you can talk to them like an adult, but
Sure.
they're still only going to understand things at a rudimentary level.
Sure.
So like if you have them playing with like something that you see as, whoa, that's crazy, that's like racist, that's like
Yeah.
insensitive, whatever, they're not gonna think that. Like
Sure,
they
of
don't
course
they don't
not.
know. So I mean, you can't really get upset.
Well,
like,
unless you're projecting your own shit. That's
yeah,
what it is. You're
exactly.
projecting your
Unless you
shit.
walk up to them and you go, hey, that's insensitive, blah blah blah, and they're like, well, I didn't know that.
I remember taking my niece to play on one of those like quarter operated little machiney things,
Yeah.
you know, like rocks back and forth. So we take my niece to do that, and I put it in there, and it's a little school bus, and she's on the school bus, and I look there.
She in the back of the school.
The black kid was in the back of the school
my
bus.
God.
And so for me, in my fucking head, I'm like, holy shit, that's racist. But there's no way she would have thought that because it wasn't meant that way. But it's no different than if you there are times where you'll see your kid pick up something or hold it in a certain way or a doll with parts that you're like, it looks
Yeah.
bad. Like that fucking pig that we have where the nose is
God,
just way
yeah.
too phallic. But it only becomes weird if you project that shit.
Yeah.
Kids are inherently innocent, and it's such an amazing thing. And a lot of the times that's what people need to stop doing is stop worrying about, hey, I need to make sure my kids are fitting into social norms, and instead realize that you have this opportunity to see the world through an inherently innocent set of eyes.
Yeah.
You're able to see things and experience things with your maturity and experience that you have in your life, but with the eyes of someone brand new.
Yeah.
And if you do that, if you take the time to go, hey, you know what? Something really simple. Like there are times where my daughter literally just wants to run in circles around the couch and she'll go, Dada, tickle me, tickle me. And if you think about it as an adult, like you're thinking, I'm gonna go tickle them. But as a kid, I wanna be tickled because it's fun and it makes me laugh. And if you think about that, you're like, wow, something so simple is what popped into her head to make her that happy. And as adults, we're constantly looking for an
makes
outside
us-
stimulus
Right.
to make us feel that way instead of going, you know what? It used to be that easy. We used to just look outside and go,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's sunny outside. Let's go build a fort.
Yeah.
Let's go play tag. Let's do this. And so when I see these people getting so fucking worked up about the toys and the girls have to be the pink ones, if you don't like the pink toys, go get her a blue toy.
Yeah.
There's no, and especially in an age right now when people are trying so hard to not put things in boxes, they're almost creating their own box. You know, they're almost creating their own limitations and obstacles that this kid is going to have to grow up with instead of just going, you know what? Hey, my kid can do whatever the hell they want. You know, depending on when you grew up, there realistically were things where you had to go, well, you know, she's probably not gonna be able to do this. She's probably not gonna do that. Or a boy, he's probably not gonna be able to do that. Probably not gonna do that. The thing is that we do live in a time now where it's increasingly open to doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the things I talk to people about with my kid is she loves toys that are like engineering based. She loves to see how things fit and how they work together and how they, I got her a little small train set and she likes to see how the pieces work and how the magnets work and things like that. And I think to myself, hey, that's cool. Like she may be into engineering. She may be into architecture. And the thing is, when I hear people go, oh, well, there's no room for this, or I don't know how to, I don't understand. Like, and maybe it's a conversation I need to have with someone that feels that way. I don't know if maybe maybe I'm enlightened. No. What at the end of the day, maybe it's my wife. Maybe because I married someone who doesn't see things that way, because she's a woman that doesn't feel like she's limited by anything. She's like, hey, I'm gonna go do whatever. Like,
Yeah.
So for me, myself being like, hey, you're a little girl, but you're a person. You're a kid. Go do whatever the hell you want. And my wife being that way, she's gonna grow up with that. Now, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm not saying I'm more further along or more informed or any of that bullshit, because it's not that. It's just I don't want my kid to go to school and then have somebody else's kids fucking weird insecurities that their parents projected on them, and her be like, Dad, I have this friend and she can't do shit. I'm like, fuck. Now, granted, I'll have the conversation and say, hey, not everybody's parents let them do whatever they want. But I would hope that as we get further along, we can get to a place where that's normal. Like that it doesn't matter there's a girl aisle and a boy aisle. It doesn't ever affect me that the women's clothes is closer up in Target than men's clothes. It doesn't affect me at all.
No.
Just walk to the men's section, I buy clothes.
Yeah, I think the thing about like your kid being able to do whatever they want, it's like a mixture of like perspective and like how people want to see the world. Like if people want to look at the world and go like, I don't think I could ever do that because, you know, I don't have enough drive or ambition or I'm not hardworking enough, blah, blah, blah. And then they're not. They don't do it because they have that view of themselves. Or they could look at themselves and say, I got to work fucking hard to do that because that's what I want to do and I'm going to do it. So people project that onto their kids, and that's how their kids grow up and how they behave too. And I think that's what happened with my mom was that like she didn't say, I mean, she was like not distant, but she left a lot of space for us. Like she made sure that we had plenty of opportunities to go down roads that we want to go down, not necessarily pointing us in any direction, but letting us know of the directions we could go in and then just saying that they're there. You can do it if you want. And so my sister and I both did theater because it was there and we loved it. And, you know, our family had a history in it and that's what we did. And then my sister, a lot of her friends in college wanted her to go to Broadway and, you know, be a huge star and blah, blah, blah. And she could have, there's no question. She's really talented. But she chose to be a teacher, like my mom and her grandma and her grandma before that. And
Did you go that far back? Is it great grandma too?
I think she's the fourth generation, yeah.
I'm just the fourth generation asshole in my family, so I don't really have that to lean back on.
But I mean, people can, you know, be upset with her for not following the dreams that they think that she should have had. But I mean, it's her life.
Your dreams are your dreams, man.
Your dreams are your dreams. Being a teacher is incredible. I think it's an incredible occupation.
That is admirable.
Important. That is admirable.
That is admirable.
And I couldn't be more proud of her.
Sure.
So I think that's what I learned from my mom was that you don't necessarily you don't build the path that your child's going to go down. You build the opportunity for paths.
Sure.
And then they choose the path.
Yeah, give them the tools. Like, here are the tools.
Give them the tools, yeah.
Use them however you want, and I'll be here for you no matter what. Like, that's the key. I mean, now, granted, she's 2, and I have one that's on the way, and yes, things are going to get increasingly difficult, and there's going to be times where she's going to want to do things, and she's going to change her mind a week later, and that's fine. You know, that's the key. I think what the whole point of what I was starting out with this was I guess my frustration lies in hearing these people out there, and I'm not mad at them, but I want them to fucking hear it. It's fine. Let your kid fucking do what they want. Let them go try new things. Buy them the boy version if they're a girl.
I just had a memory that I haven't thought about in a long time, but I remember when I was like 4 or 5, I couldn't have been that old. I asked my mom like about colors, and I said like, she said something like, why don't you get the pink one or something like that, or purple? And I was like, well, that's a girl's color. And she's like, no, it's not. There's no girls' colors. They're just colors. And it's like, oh, I guess so. And there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of pink. It doesn't really bring out my eyes. I mean, I don't have a problem with pink. I think it's funny that people get so wrapped up in this, that, and the other. Like, we were at the store last week, and I realized my daughter, she looked like a little tomboy. She had her little Chucks on, her jeans, and her sweatshirt. And the thing is, I look up, and mommy and daddy are wearing the same thing. I don't think your kid is anything other than what they are. And when she cuddled up on the couch last night, watched TV with us, she was holding her pink Abby Cadabby stuffed animal that we found her, you know, and then half the time she wants to play with Elmo. And there's nothing in her head that makes her think that one's a boy one and one's a girl one. She just thinks they're both awesome.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's just my hope that as she gets older and as we interact with people, it becomes more and more just okay to be your kid. Like, let them be the kid. Let them figure things out. Don't vent your anger on things as fucking simple and as stupid as colors and toys and shapes, so you're wasting that time that you could be just enjoying the little things.
Yeah.
You know, let the kid grab you by the hand and walk you over and point out something. Let the kid walk you. I play with the dollhouse with her all the time. It's fun. And I look at it and I go, this is so simple. It's not complex like Battlefield. It's not complex like my Xbox. It's simple. You take the toy, you put the toy in the toy, you laugh, you giggle, and you have fun, then you move on to something else. So I hopefully as we go, we see more and more of that, and more people just allowing their kids to be fun and enjoying the journey instead of creating obstacles in the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on my knee and I'm talking to a microphone. Boo-ba-doo-doo-doo. Oh, hi. Yeah, you're still there. We want to do this week for episode 2 is do a review of season 1 of Westworld on HBO. It's a rootin' tootin' booby filled cowboy western set in the future.
I saw it a couple months ago and you saw it recently.
Yeah, I finally got a chance to go back and watch it. I had meant to watch it. Like I thought it looked great when the trailers and everything came out last year. But for one reason or another, we never actually ended up sitting down and seeing it. But it worked out because those kind of shows are the ones that I like binging. So,
Yeah, this is very bingeable.
yeah, and that's the tough part because with HBO shows, you have to wait the week. And
Right.
like with Game of Thrones, it gives me something to look forward to. But with Westworld, because I know it's not, like being able to just sit down and watch it was great.
Yeah, and especially since I feel like a little bit different than some other shows. It wasn't like some shows have a season that, like Better Call Saul, you know it's going to do well, and Vince knows it's going to do well. So he's taking his time building up to bigger things happening. But with this, I feel like the whole season was like a self-contained story. It was like its own narrative in itself. So it, like I said, very bingeable, very like you can sit down and get the whole thing in at once, and it feels like it'll be more of a anthology kind of thing.
I hope so. I'll be honest with
They
you.
hinted at a different theme park, and
That's the thing is we
think
found
that's
out
where
toward
that's
the
gonna
end,
go.
and we'd
Yeah.
actually discussed it. We were like at one point, I'm like, I wonder if there's more parks. I wonder how many there are, what the other ones
Right.
are like, and we catch a glimpse of the Samurai Park.
yeah,
I'll be honest, if I had been watching it live after 2 episodes, I don't know that I would have kept going. The first 2 episodes, first 2.5 episodes, I felt like there was a lot of. It almost felt like it wanted to confuse you. It felt like it wanted to keep things as ambiguous and mysterious as possible to keep you guessing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for me, like you got to throw me a little bit. You got to throw me a little bit to care. There were some great moments, and the funny part was watching the finale. I look back at those first few episodes and go, "Holy shit!" Now I got to go watch the first few episodes again because
Yeah.
it all makes more sense.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing was we both after the first episode were like, okay, this is good. Like I'm not itching to watch the second episode, but let's watch it. And then we waited a few days to watch the third. But by the 4th episode, I think is really when we like sunk our teeth in. We're like, okay,
yeah,
like shit's going on. I want to see what happens. Episodes were ending in like a holy shit, like what's going to happen next way.
Yeah.
And so it was definitely the kind of show that I think built and really set itself up well for a second season and hooked me in a way that I'm like, okay, now I can't wait to see the second season. Whereas in the beginning of the season, I didn't even know if I wanted to watch the next episode.
yeah.
But who did you feel like was your like? I've noticed that a few people have different things. Some people like Dolores, some people like Maeve, some people like. What was the one that like sunk in for you that caught you right away?
The Man in Black.
Absolutely agree, 100%.
Or William, right?
William.
Yeah. I love. First of all, I love both of those actors. Obviously, Ed Harris, but
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. But what is he? He's been in House of Cards and a few other things. But everything I've seen him in has been great. And I think this is one of his biggest roles yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
And I just loved how you already have the end goal. Like the whole season, you already know where he ends up, but you don't know that that's him until
Not
the
at
end.
all.
So I love the fact that when he starts like Breaking Bad, if you will, like when he starts doing like killing people and
was it the second or third to last episode
yeah,
where
towards
dude
the
wakes up and he's chopped up his own fucking arms
Oh
off?
yeah, that moment especially. But when you start seeing that kind of stuff, and you're like, wow, this guy's like, this guy's really going off the rails. And then just that last episode, or was it second to last? I don't remember. When it's finally clear that that's who he is.
I think it's the finale.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is. Then it's like, oh shit,
Of course.
that's what he was Breaking Bad into.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that was awesome. And the clues, I love the clues were there the whole time.
Yep.
Like, it was like he was running the company and the company owned Westworld, and he was like, yeah, it was
Yeah, he's a
good.
great character. I think the thing that I didn't notice going in and I've read since then is you go back and if you think about when he first entered the park, what color hat did he get? White.
Yeah.
It was a light hat.
That's true.
And as the show progresses, his hat gets progressively darker.
That's true.
And you can see in the beginning when he gets dirty, he wipes his hands off or brushes off his pants. And towards the end, he's basically covered in blood. I mean, he's basically killing everybody and not worrying about it. But yeah, to tie in all those storylines and the whole time I'm sitting there going, how does this timeline work? You know, I mean, that's the thing. It's like you're seeing the memories that Dolores has, and you have the memories that Maeve has, and then you have the first episode when he's at the ranch and kills Teddy and then takes her, and you're like, okay. And then as you sit there and realize that they're all having these different memories, and that's as he was progressing, becoming evil. So it's almost like he was the protagonist, like it was his story. And the whole time you're sitting there going, what's going to happen with Dolores or what's going to happen with Maeve? And realistically, it's this guy who's kind of progressing the things that are going and giving you an idea for how long this is all taking place. Because if you think about all the things that Maeve had gone through, and then you compare it to his timeline, you're like, holy crap, this has been going on for a long time. And he tells you it's been 35 years.
Yeah.
But as you're watching it, you don't process that it's 35 years because you don't know William is him until then.
Right.
So it was a total mindfuck. And I will say that they did a great job of not giving it away. And they didn't tip their hat too much.
Yeah.
Even the moments where you're like, oh, I bet it's this. And you're like, oh, no, I was wrong. I bet it's this. Like, oh, no, I was wrong about that.
Although I didn't watch it live as the episodes were coming out, I went on to Reddit and read the discussions of each episode. And I loved how it almost became a running joke on the subreddit that people would try to predict things and they'd be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like horribly, completely wrong. And it was just like, you idiots. Like, you have a team of like world-class writers. You think that you're better than them?
To be fair, if you look at some of the original people who like guess things in Game of Thrones and they're
true.
right, and you look back 15, 18 years and you're like, holy shit, that person called it.
That's true.
I was reading one the other day where somebody had found the original post back from like 97. There's some weird archived webpage thing about the guy who guessed R plus L equals J.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like that person was basically laughed at back then. And you're looking at it now like, how the fuck did you get that?
They're right. Like how many 20 years later?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was, I think the big moments for me was the reveal at the end, obviously. And I think the other one that caught us the most was Bernard.
Yeah. Like, I was going to say, did you have any idea beforehand?
No.
I think the moment for me, I think was, when she says, "Let's do this door," and then he says, "What door?"
That literally,
I think that was the moment.
Right then,
Yeah.
both of us were like, holy shit, he doesn't see the door.
Yeah.
And he walks in and we're like, is he a fucking host? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And both my wife and I were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it was really cool. I liked his interaction. And then when we figured that, we actually figured that he was Arnold. We figured that right then. We were like, I bet he's modeled after Arnold.
Right.
There were a lot of really good twists. I really liked, what's her name? Tandy Newton, is that her name?
Yeah.
She stole the
great.
show, dude. She
Yeah.
killed it.
She
She
did.
was just from start to finish. Like she handled everything so well. Her character was interesting.
The moment I fell in love with her was when she was on the safe.
Oh yeah.
And he stabbed her. Yeah. That was the moment where it's like, wow, this is a
She was
crazy
awesome.
character.
I questioned a few times why the hosts, or not the hosts, the butcher guys didn't just get rid of her like at some point to you know.
she showed them who's boss. That's for sure.
But it was just like you kept waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
And then what really caught me, what made me feel that she really started to feel human was the end. Like as she's sitting on the train, I was like, she's not going to go.
Well, so some people think that, we do know that when Bernard tells her in the basement that it was written for her to rebel and to go against her storyline. So some people think that Ford, from the whole time, knew that she would get on the train and then get off.
For her kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she knew that all of that would happen. I mean,
And
he
even
knew
though
all
she
of that.
knows it's not her kid, like
Right.
she can't let go of that. And that to me, I thought was the most, I don't know, it was a very humanizing moment. Like even though you know she's a robot, you're
Yeah.
like, holy shit, like she wants to go find this kid.
Well, and it shows you that they're more than robots.
Yeah. And that was it was funny because we would have moments as we were watching it where William would get all hooked up on Dolores and he'd get all hung up on her. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
she's a robot. Like
Right.
she's a robot. Like you're oh, all right.
Yeah.
But I think our favorite moment with the William Dolores storyline was when his brother grabbed the picture of his wife or his fiance. And he goes, "This is what you're going home to." And it clicked back to the first episode where she finds it in the dirt. And
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Holy shit!" So
I forgot about that.
The Man in Black dropped it. She doesn't recognize it. It was really cool. Like I thought
Yeah.
they did a great job of really tying things in. And I think one of my favorite moments from the show was actually in the finale, because the whole thing he's wanted this whole time was it to feel more real. And they're
Yes.
all walking towards him, and
Yes.
he takes a bullet and he smiles.
Yes.
And I'm like, he didn't die. Like in my opinion, if
No,
it's an
no,
HBO
no,
show
yeah.
and you don't die on camera, you're not dead.
Yeah,
That's just how I feel.
exactly.
Which we could get into Stannis one of these days. I am like, he's not dead. He's excited. My guess he probably hopped on a horse and ran away.
yeah.
That to me was really cool to see him
Yes.
get shot and smile and go, "Oh shit, this is what I'm talking about."
I was literally going to bring that up before you said it.
Yeah.
Because my mom watched it like a week after I did, and I asked her about that, and she was like, "What do you mean? I thought he was dead." And I'm like, "No,
Not on HBO, man.
He's not dead." and he smiled because that's what he wanted the whole time. He wanted to get hurt. He wanted it to be real, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense."
Yep.
Like, yes.
So it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. I'll be interested to see if they tie in the Samurai Park at all, the Samurai World. I'm interested to see what other worlds are out there if and when that develops. But yeah, to be honest with you, it started out, I say it started out around a 6 and ended up around an 8 for me. So I'd give it around a 7.5. 7.5 leaning on 8, but I'm really excited for season 2. I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm glad I got another show to watch when Game of Thrones isn't around.
Yeah. And I just got to say one more thing about the finale. The Radiohead cover at the very end.
yeah.
Oh my God. Well, we just saw the concert with, oh my God, I'll never.
Ramen Jawadi?
Actually, here, let me do this.
Look up how to. It's Jawadi? Dawaji? I think it's Jawadi.
Wait.
It's like him talking.
I think it is actually.
He said it in the very beginning there. Jawadi.
Okay, Ramin Djawadi.
Jawadi.
It's a silent D.
Yeah.
D is silent.
Yeah.
Django.
Django.
So Ramin Djawadi.
Yeah.
We just saw the Game of Thrones concert with him. He just like, I didn't think he could top Game of Thrones, but the soundtrack for this was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it, and that Radiohead cover at the end just
Was it the fake plastic trees? Is that the one that he used?
exit
last-
music for a film?
Oh, for the finale.
For the very end,
Because
yeah.
they did fake plastic trees 2 or 3 episodes back.
And then Paint It Black
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh
there
my
were
God.
a few really good songs, and I found myself going, "What the fuck song is that?"
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I told you. I told Jeff. Prison Break's one of my favorite shows. Like the first episode, first season was phenomenal. Second season was meh. I kept watching anyway. New season's out now, and I'll definitely be watching that. But he wrote the theme for that, and I didn't know that. So I was like, it was really cool to go back and go, because I always liked that theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the first season. Looking forward to second season, and looking forward to anything Ramin Djawadi does going forward, because the dude's a stud.
Yeah, he is. I definitely agree. I think I would lean over on the 8 side. 8 out of 10. Westworld season 1. Great. Looking forward to the next one.
So they released the trailer for It.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, I think it's September of this year, September 8th.
Now, I'm in one of those moments where I haven't seen the original of a remake that's coming out. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to wait for the remake. I don't think I'm going to watch the original.
And that's the part. I don't know what to say. I'm glad I've seen the original. I almost feel like you should watch the original just so you have the context on why this is so exciting.
Kind of want to watch it after, though.
I know. Well, if you watch it after, it's going to be really fucking cheesy. That's the thing.
True.
So a lot of people don't realize that the original It, based on the book, Stephen King book, wasn't a movie. A lot of people look at it and they go, "Oh, it's a movie that came out." No, it was a made-for-TV, like what we'd call, I guess, not really a mini series because there's only
How long was
two
it?
movies, two nights. So it was like an hour and a half or 2 hour episodes. It's basically 3 hours total if you don't have commercials.
Oh, okay.
It was made for TV, so there's no real swearing. There's no over the top blood and guts.
Oh.
And it's traumatic as it was for me as a child. Like that movie fucking ruined clowns for me. We talked about killer clowns.
Yeah.
That movie scared me for clowns, and the fucked up part was my grandma had clowns everywhere. Everywhere. She has like little precious moments clowns.
Oh, God.
Like little hobo clowns, like the bum or whatever.
Regardless of if you're for them, that's horrible.
Yeah. But if you don't like them, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space messed me up a good amount because they were creepy looking clowns. Like they were scary. They didn't really talk. They kind of lumbered back and forth. It was creepy, but I was also 4 or 5 years old, so it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It came out when I was about 8, 9, or 10, right in that range.
Yeah.
Made for TV. Parents thought it was okay to watch. It was on ABC. Fucking ruined me, dude. Ruined me. The people out there, if you don't know little bits about it, you can kiss my ass on the damn spoilers. It was 20 years ago. Essentially,
Well, don't tell me.
well, you're gonna. The trailer gave it away.
Okay.
The
If it's in the trailer, sure.
With the trailer, with the boat going down and it goes underwater and the clown pops up.
yeah.
Basically, that scene for me made it difficult. Even now, if I'm walking around and it's
go by a
raining and I'm
drain.
alone and there's a
Yeah.
drain, I get my ass up on the damn sidewalk. That movie made it hard for me to go into a shower and not open the thing just to make sure there's a fucking clown in the drain. Like, there's all kinds of shitty things that happen in that movie that traumatized me.
I'll chime in with an example of fear of mine like that. I watched Chucky was like, or Child's Play was on, and I saw like a scene from it. I don't remember. Was the garbage compactor thing in the first one?
Dude, I don't remember. The first 3 are kind of a blur, but the first 2 were better.
It's really stupid, but
Yeah.
somehow the garbage man gets in the garbage truck, like
course.
in the compactor, and then
Reenacting a
Chucky turns
Star
it
Wars
on.
moment.
It's like, yeah. Anyway, so I had like, I couldn't leave the door to my bedroom closed.
Okay.
Like I had to have it open
Yeah.
for a long time, which sounds like counterintuitive, but I didn't want it closed because I had a fear of it opening and Chucky going through
Hey,
it. It's like,
you can't
So
really
for
judge
a
those
long
kind of
time-
irrational fears when you're a kid.
yeah. So for a long time, I had the bedroom door open
Yeah.
because of Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the trailer comes out, and if you don't know enough about it, the movie was kind of in limbo. Like there were a bunch of points of contention on it. Originally, Cary Fukunaga, who did the first season of True Detective, was signed on to direct. There were some differences, some creative differences, and so then he backed out. The guy who's doing it, Machete or Freschetti, people were kind of torn on because he did Mama, but Mama's a PG-13 scary movie. I don't think it was as terrible as people made it out to be, but it wasn't a classic or anything like that.
I think it got like 60 something on
Yeah,
that.
it's not great, but it's not terrible. I wouldn't mind going back and watching the full thing from start to finish again because every time I've watched it, it's been like in chunks. He seems to really dig the source material. He really seems to get what makes it. They've taken a different direction. Tim Curry's version of it, and that's one of the reasons I think you should go back and watch it before the movie comes out. Tim Curry killed it. Like he did a great job, but he did it in a there were some deadpan joking wise. Pennywise was more whimsical in some periods, so he went from being this joking clown to this terrifying being, whereas the new one, it looks to me like he's going to be a lot scarier from the get-go, less lively. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have your silly moments, but it definitely seems like they went darker with it. They updated it from the 50s to the 80s, which I think is great because I think the 80s is a great time for a horror movie. The genre fits well in the 80s. The cast looks great. They have one of the kids from Stranger Things is in it. But the way they're doing it is the first half's going to come out this year. I think the second half's going to come out next year. If you're not familiar with the story, the first half is basically going to touch on the kids interacting with Pennywise. The first half's going to be like that. So there's kids that are dying, missing because of this clown. You're going to see their part, and then the second half will be them experiencing it as an adult. Like that's kind of the basic for the movies.
That's a cool concept.
The damn trailer looks amazing. The clown looks terrifying. I've watched the trailer 4 or 5 times. I hope it's not a steaming pile of shit. We haven't heard him talk yet, which has got me on edge here because I want to make sure his voice, fits the kind of fear that I have in my head.
They might say that for the movie though.
I had a goddamn nightmare about the new Pennywise.
The trailer?
About the new Pennywise.
Wow.
So if you watch the trailer at the very end, he kind of Georgie's like, they all float, and then the Pennywise kind of runs to the camera, like his head shaking. It looks really creepy.
Yeah.
I had a dream that I wasn't even down there. I was like in this gymnasium, and I was there and I was a kid, and there were other kids there, and he shows up, and then I try to turn and run, and the door slams shut, and he comes running at me, and then I fucking wake up.
Oh God, that's
and I'm like,
awful.
for a fucking trailer to tap into my fear of clowns and to fuck with me this way, both has me really frustrated, but also extremely excited. So if you have watched the trailer, if you haven't seen the original I say go back and watch it because it's not going to ruin. There's going to be all kinds of things that are in the new movie that weren't in that one because he has a rated R, license to go with. They're including more stuff from the books, and they're really going to be able to touch on a lot more stuff. But it really has me super, super excited.
Yeah, for sure. So look forward to our review of that in September. And we'll see if I develop a fear of clowns along with you.
I'm sure I can help out with that.
Hope you enjoyed episode 2. If you want to hit us up at unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com, send us something that's got you unreasonably angry and we'll discuss it.
Don't forget to hit us up on Facebook as well, or you can actually make comments on SoundCloud if that's how you're listening. But until next time, this is Eric.
And this is Gary.
Stay angry out there, fuckers.